Have you guys already started?
No, we're waiting on you.
Oh, you were? All
We
right.
have a vice chair, remember?
Oh, all right. You guys could have chosen one for today.
Well, Franklin tried to say that I'd be vice seniority. I said he's counting my gray hairs and how he's doing that.
Oh, and that's rude, although you have nicely dyed hair, so.
Oh, careful, careful.
Sorry. Would everyone please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, everyone. It is September 8th, and before we do anything else, I need to apologize for being late. I did not sleep in this morning. I was on a conference call this morning, taking care of county business, so again, I apologize for being late. It just went a whole lot longer than we all thought it would. So with that, before we get started, some housekeeping. Broadwater County has an open meeting policy, also known as the civility clause, and we do follow Robert's Rules of Order. The purpose of this policy is to open Broadwater County public meetings to all county citizens. We realize we have a fiscal and fiduciary responsibility to conduct county business as efficiently as possible for all Broadwater County residents. Commission meetings are recorded and are on YouTube, so please state your full name prior to any public comment. Any separate conversations need to be removed from the meeting and conducted outside. Outbursts will not be tolerated, and initial public comment will give each citizen who wishes to speak, or each person, 3 minutes to do so. All comments should be directed to the board chairman. And with that, do we have any public comment? John?
My name is John Wright. This is basically, I'm making a presentation to all three of you commissioners. And the issue is constitutional county laws, that we are a constitutional county. And furthermore, it's the authority that must be addressed on every issue that's challenged. And I'm challenging the board's entire use of state statutory laws over our constitutional rights. And Robert's Rules of Order is no such law in this nation, especially Constitution. It's against the law. Now, Laura, I'm going to first present you with a document that goes the difference between constitutional law and state statutory law, which is not a constitutional form of government. Lane?
Thank you.
And Franklin, this document speaks for itself. Now, the next thing is, I've watched all of you break your oath of office at random, however you want to. I'm serving, Laura, your oath of office, and you do not abide by it. You have not abided by it. Now, Elaine, same thing for you. Your oath, you sidestepped the issues because you swore to God Almighty, which gives me and every citizen in this county inalienable rights. And with that said, the next issue, and Mr. Slivka, I'll get you the rest of it because these aren't pertaining to you as directly. The other is the budget business. Now, as you well know, Laura and Elaine, you have been duly charged by our sheriff's department and served a judgment about Nellie B. Sayers' judgment, which you ignored. This judgment is part and must be considered and taken into the budget. Now, Laura, this is your judgment. Duly served by the sheriff. Recorded accordingly in the United States Court of Appeals, Washington, D.C., District of Columbia Circuit, case 93-7021, original writ of mandamus, a bonded case, which means you are held at the maximum of the penalty. And you have to even respond to me.
Your 3 months is coming up to a close.
Well, I'm not done.
Well, you will be at 3 minutes.
Well, then you're going to have to arrest me because I'm not done. You were late. You give me that much time.
Nope.
Well, I don't care. Don't really matter. Blaine, there is your judgment. And there is your oath.
You
Which
gave me my
mandates,
oath already.
well, you got it. Now, with that said, you cannot move on with the budget. I forbid it as a citizen. Because it takes all three of you to do it. And Mr. Franklin has already gone against some of this throwaway money business. You have not addressed the debts of the county to come up to a budget. And these issues are more than that. Doug Ellis, our county attorney, and Nellie V. Sayer, you ignored it time after time again to settle it a long time ago. It's growing at 10% interest, and it's going to be closed one way or the other shortly. Now, you cannot proceed to go through the budget without addressing this.
All right, thank you, John.
And I'm not done.
Yes, you are. John,
I'm
thank
going
you.
to give
Please
this.
take your seat. John? this is
I'm
your-
not done.
Sit
I'll
down.
beat your thing. Go ahead. All I want to do is give Mr. Slick, and if you can't wait that a minute, then you do whatever you've got to do.
All right.
Here's the balance of it.
John, please take your seat immediately.
Laura, you know what else? You're a public servant, not a dictator.
You're absolutely right. Thank you, John. For the record, this includes the filing that Mr. Wright has made on several elected officials, not myself and Elaine exclusively, and the amount against the county, or our personal property actually, is now $6.15 million. This has been filed against a variety of other elected officials, and you've witnessed it being filed against Elaine and I. Again, this is against our personal property, our home, our business, what have you. So I want that. Nick, would you please escort Mr. Wright from this meeting?
You bet.
Thank you very much. I do too.
Who are you representing?
Sheriff's Office.
Are you a jailer?
Let's go. I am.
Well, then you don't have the authority to
Okay,
move me.
I'm the captain. Let's go. It's either you walk outside, or you walk in my facility.
Okay. I'm gonna serve one of these on you.
Good, let's go.
Don't touch
Thank you,
me.
Captain. All right, after that auspicious opening of our public commissioners' business meeting, is there any other public business? Any other public comment? Joan, you look like you want to say something?
Yeah, Joan Hill, I want to know how many county employees we have, and how many are both county and city.
City employees are not ours to manage, supervise, etc. That is, city is totally separate of the county. Okay, the two are two separate entities. As far as county employees, I can give you a roundabout. I don't have the exact number, but when you include full-time, part-time, seasonal, and temporary employees, we have a total of about 75.
That does not include the elected officials.
I believe it does include elected officials.
Why can't, the ones I counted was 79, so I just,
Okay, so that's a good roundabout.
yeah.
The sheet you got last week, or was it last week?
I
Or a
think
week and a
last
half
week.
ago? That one is old. A lot of those names are people who are no longer with us. We have cut head count from last year, so take that into account. That is old information, it's no longer accurate. And that happens, from year to year, things change. Anything else, Joan?
No, that's it.
All right. Any other public comment?
Go ahead.
Tim, you go next.
Good morning, Commissioners. Tim Ravendall. I just would like to, I know this isn't on our agenda, and I guess I respectfully ask the entire commission to address what we're going to do now that the city has declined to enter into a public safety commission. We need to resolve that issue. and I respectfully would request a response on what we are going to do to move forward with this. The last thing we need to do is just sit back and wait for the courts to decide how to resolve that. Thank you.
All right, any other public comment?
My name's Kyle Hopstead, Broadwater Health Center. I'd like to introduce Jenny Klaus, our CFO, who's been with us now for, what, 8-9 months, and Ernie Nunn, who's with the Hospital Foundation. This is in terms of a report, and I don't know, I'm sorry, I didn't realize there was a 3-minute limit, and I don't know, it might take a little bit longer, but you cut me off when you have to, okay?
I did actually
Yeah,
give Mr. Wright more than 3 minutes, so we will do the same with you.
Real quick summation, we've caught some breathing room. You know, real quick, we had 880,000 in payables. We're current on our payables now. We're current on our receivables. There's about a $220,000 payroll hits the streets on a monthly basis now, gone from about 15 employees to right around 70, 75 full-time equivalents. Our revenues have increased since January by about 39%. We've seen patient load has improved. Our imaging center that we've implemented, the CT unit, we've done about 40-45 CTs in the last 30 days since it's been open. Between the whole imaging center, we probably are contributing roughly about $63,000 in gross charges. So it's really been a positive economic as well as great patient care. Been able to, many of those 41 CTs would have gone elsewhere for care, so we're able to provide that here. So as we sit back and take a look at the investment in the building, which we have to keep on top of, we've really got some things we need to address quickly. First of all, we will be suggesting and asking for a reprieve on the $60,000 note. We have about $60,000 in repairs in the roof that we need to have done. Could get by with less, but that's a real close figure. We've got bathrooms on the second floor where our physical therapy is and where our clinics is that are not ADA approved. About $15,000 a piece for those 2 bathrooms to become ADA approved. The main door to the hospital, we've got one where the business office is and one where an emergency room is, but the main door most everyone in the community uses doesn't have automatic doors. That's another $15,000 to $18,000 that we really need to have. So we've got elevator safety compliance that we have, that's roughly about $14,000. We've got some air conditioning needs for patient room areas, about $15,000. All total, and I'll get this back to you, it's about a $200,000 bill without the $60,000 approved. So when we talked, probably about 8-9 months ago, and we asked for about $350,000 consideration from the PILT. At that time, the commission warranted us $200,000. We took 50 of that. We put it into the imaging department, and that's turned out to an incredible investment for everybody in this community. We have 2 full-time CT techs, a part-time CT person also that does the recording. So it's been a great addition to this community. I think it's the first addition for the hospital in 30 years. So that money was put to excellent use. We've used the other dollars for cash flow needs. Now, we forecasted early on, the first year, $1 million loss. And now our forecast is about a $500,000 loss. And if things go well, and they have have been, and we might be able to look closer at break even by the end of the year. Remember, we've started 3 new businesses. Anytime anybody's gone into the business arena, it usually takes 2 to 3 years for that break even to happen. Well, we're right on schedule. And it's important that Ernie and the foundation have been able to help us out, and so have you. Well, that's a summation. I don't know if that was 5 minutes or 3 minutes, but you do have a great investment here. You do have a great opportunity, I think, for some growth. We've seen real positive outcomes from the imaging department. Today we have the state inspectors to review the nursing home licensure. They'll be here next couple days. It's a very, very tough survey. And the reason it's a tough survey is because essentially you can't have any deficiency because you can't go back and fix them. That's just it. That's how it is. And then you wait 90 days for another survey. So a lot is riding on this. The employees have been ready and bring it on fashion. But we're all crossing our fingers. So that's a quick report on where we've been and what we're doing. We have another new mid-level that 1 or 2 may join us in the next couple of weeks, really. So we'll be fully staffed on the mid-level piece, and hope you're hearing all good things. Any questions or comments?
Any questions from the board?
I know that the last time we were here, you kind of mentioned come back. Well, we've had a chance to really do an assessment of the needs in that facility, and we really need to keep up with that. And we appreciate all the help the county has given us and the citizens of Broadwater County. It's been incredible. We call it the miracle story. Maybe you're tired of hearing that. It is a miracle story, and people inside and outside the state are very impressed with all you've done.
I do have a couple of questions.
Absolutely.
What is mid-tier?
Mid-level,
Mid-level.
that's either a physician's assistant or a nurse practitioner, and it's probably not a good term, but it is used. So it's the physician assistant has to have a sponsoring physician to oversee their practice, whereas a nurse practitioner by state law doesn't. They pretty much can practice independently. And so we're looking at a nurse practitioner, female nurse practitioner added to the clinic, as well as a female physician's assistant that might be added as well. So we're excited, and they're quality, high quality people.
Thank you. And I have one more follow-up.
Yes, you do.
Okay. What's your next project?
Glad you asked that, because I forgot to mention it. On the 18th, we have a public hearing to talk about what our future looks like. And one of the things that we're exploring, and of course this is 1 to 3 years down the road, is what an assisted living complex would look like here in Townsend. And that requires us to do a market study and feasibility study and to get public comment. And so the 18th.
That's the 23rd.
21st, I'm sorry.
23rd, noon at 23rd at our conference room.
There you go.
So it's 23rd, not
23rd.
13th?
Yeah, we had to
I'm
change
sorry.
it,
Yeah.
because we had conflict, sorry.
Did you have?
I was gonna say, good luck on your rest home
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
inspection and stuff, yeah, that's an integral part of this, I think.
You know, because we're a 25-bed, critical access hospital, we've had up to 22, 21 patients, long-term care patients, skilled patients, intermediate and custodial patients in our facility. So we really are taking care of people on a long-term care basis. The special licensure for the nursing home is something that we think works good for the community, but we have that service here. We just would be expanding. I appreciate that.
I'm gonna call on Ernie because he looked like over there like he was, had something he wanted to tell us.
Yeah.
Ernie, go for it.
Thank you very much. I'm Ernie Nunn. I'm the Hospital Foundation Board, and you have a copy of our most recent portfolio that shows how our investments are doing, that you guys remember goes back to the McMaster days and all of that. There's a couple of things I'd like to add to what Kyle said. Is I'm not too much on the medical side. I don't understand a lot of it. It's very complicated. Kyle knows and understands that. But I'll tell you what, we're rolling between 72 and 90 jobs out of that hospital. That's a big deal. And we're hiring some people coming into our community that's got to be helping the realtors out. It's got to be helping the local economy out a little bit. And these are pretty good paying jobs. And the hospital, it really is one of the big three as our employers right now for local folks, other than agriculture and some other things going on. But the other thing that, and we got to do it, it's the state law, is we're rolling about $400,000 a year of non-paid bills through that hospital. And we've been having to suck that up and just cover it. But if y'all can, through some of this, I know Kyle's got infrastructure on his mind a little bit, but I'll tell you what's on my mind right now is helping, and we got kids in school, and I was down there for a long time, and some of those kids come in the hospital, they can't afford to pay those bills, and that's why we run that debt up every year, and there's got to be a way to help the hospital smooth that out a little bit. The foundation can help some with their investments and the money that we receive off of that. But you got to remember, we made a $450,000 loan to the hospital ourselves, and the interest off of our investments now go to pay that back, like I explained to Frank, and I think Laura probably already knows that too. So the investments off of that go back to pay on a 10-year schedule that loan off. So it's a good deal for the hospital, but there's not a lot left over to where you can go in and pick up that $400,000 right now of non-paid bills from local citizens, and they need care. And like I say, if they come into that hospital, you gotta take care of them, and they do down there now. And I swung through there this morning, I'll tell you what I see is, and there's an energy level that's really come up, a personality level that's really come up, and those folks are humming down there now. And I'll tell you what, that's one heck of a healthcare facility right now compared to what we've gone through, and y'all went through that with us, and you know what I'm talking about. So thanks for the invite back, Frank, to come back and share some of our needs with you a little bit. We appreciate that. And I know the PILT money is, I think we're okay on that from what I understand, but if you see fit to help us out a little bit down there with some of these other problems, we'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Did you have more too, Kyle?
Just maybe this can serve as a report, and I know you would like to consider it. I'll get you this in writing, and maybe at the next meeting or sometime soon, you can decide whether you can help out.
I do have a request of you, but I want to ask the board first. Any questions of Kyle, Ernie, or Jenny? No? All right. What I would like to request is that we put it on the agenda so that the public is aware that there will be a comprehensive report of everything you've shared, both of you, also financials to the extent that you can, and kind of give an overview for the community after the meeting on the 23rd. We have commissioner conference that week, so I will not be there. Have you guys, yeah, all three of us will be at conference that day, so that would help us out too, to get that report. But I had two things I wanted to clarify. One from you, Kyle. You mentioned the $50,000 of PILT. You didn't mention how you were able to leverage that and for how much, because your walking orders that day were make this money, make money. And the other thing is it correct that that 50,000 that you already make money is also adding to or is responsible for the $63,000 per month in revenue from
Yeah,
the
to
CT?
clarify, 50,000 was put up, and from that, we were able to gain 150,000 in grants and 250,000 in CDBG monies. So that came together about $500,000 that helped us move this thing forward. The total cost of the CT and the modular unit was about 250,000. So yes, the first month that we've been in operation with the imaging funds of that 50,000 has begun to generate revenues of $63,000. During that time, we have to make up that $1 million loss. And so that loss, those dollars have gone into operational funds as well. So, and we have struggled just to do the operational side, cash flow. And we've been able to take a deep breath and take a look at what really needs to be done on the infrastructure. And that's where we come up with a request of $200,000 for the infrastructure and forgiveness of the loan. But we'll put that together. What's the best time and date? It probably wouldn't be next week, are you saying, or the week after?
Right, how about after the 23rd, the next
Okay.
Monday? Would that
All right.
work, or is that too
Yeah.
soon for
That'll
you
work.
guys? Okay, so
My
that would be,
my only question for that would be, because we're also asking for forgiveness of the payment of our loan, $400,000, and that's actually due October 1st,
okay.
and so.
We'll have PILT on the agenda next week to address a request for, specifically the Sheriff's Department would like 2 more new vehicles. So we'll have a PILT discussion next week, we can add that to the list.
Okay. So you'd like Jenny or I hear them both?
That's, yeah, that'd be great,
Okay.
yeah. And how about the 29th,
Yeah,
about 11 o'clock?
sure.
Okay, all right,
We appreciate it.
yeah, thank you.
Gotta go back and visit our
Yeah, our
stations.
surveyors.
I do have one quick question for Ernie. Can you just clarify the non-paid bills? I don't want any of the public to go away or watch on YouTube and think that the hospital isn't paying their bills.
Right.
It's individuals in Broadwater County that come into the hospital, Laura, that cannot afford to pay those bills, those healthcare bills. And some of them have been in the past, some of them have been our kids from the school system, and not all of them, because we did get an organization in Helena to cover all bills for kids less than 18 years old in Broadwater County. And they wrote the check and gave it to us.
Wow.
Now, that was less than 18, but there's some over that. But the $400,000 that I'm using might vary a little bit every year, depending on the accidents and stuff like that. But that is people, our citizens and our neighbors, and maybe some of our families that come into the hospital and use it, and they get a $100 bill or a $1,000 bill, or if it's a serious deal, it could be $10,000, $20,000. They can't pay it. So that's what we're absorbing right now. And it bothers me a little bit, but at the same time, it's the law. When those folks come into the hospital down there, in the emergency room, we gotta take care of them. We gotta give them health care down here. And that's a cost that right now we're just writing off and absorbing it in the budget. And the foundation is not capable of covering that right now for them. And in fact, we take our loan money out of that portfolio there. Most of our money that's left over goes into equipment for the hospital, new equipment. And I think this year that amounted to $103,000.
Well,
But it's, just to clarify that one more time, the $400,000 is for people that use our facility that cannot afford to pay. And, I don't know what the answer to that is, because we gotta take care of them. But that's a cost of doing business, from the hospital standpoint down there. Did that kind of get at it, or clear it
Thank
up a
you.
little bit?
yes.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much, and you guys, good luck today. Good luck to us all. This is important for the community, as we all know. So,
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for letting us come back. We'll do a more refined report.
Okay, sounds good.
Do we need to call somebody to get on the agenda?
No, we'll put you on and just send you an email
Okay.
reminder. All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ernie.
I just have to say, they have done a great job over there in turning these things around.
Yes. Per the open meeting policy, we do allow expert witnesses more time. I understand that presentation was vetted with the commissioner prior to the meeting today. So it really wasn't public comment, it was public comment, but that's why it did not fit the 3 minutes. And the timer's broken right now, and we all know that John Wright also had more than 3 minutes. So just to keep you guys in the loop, this is completely in keeping with the Broadwater County open meeting policy and our civility clause. So with that, go ahead and move on. Oh, answers to public comment. Do you care to respond to John Wright, Elaine?
I guess I feel sorry for John, to be honest. I mean, he has been on this for 20-some years, the same comments every time. He sued Nellie Sayer. How long has she been dead? And gone from the county. He sued John Flynn, same thing. John has passed away. The judge in Helena, McCarter, he has put her on the Jane Doe list of suing, and he's wrong.
Yeah.
Pure and simple.
And the suit is again on the personal property of elected officials. This is a tactic that was used widely and perfected by the Freemen in 1993 in Jordan. Broadwater County does not need to become a community that will no longer be anything but synonymous with the Freemen. So I think that's it on that. We hear about it every single week. Joan, we answered your question. To Tim's question, this is something that there's a lot of things in the works. This has been a long-going problem, and you're not going to get an answer today. It is more important, substantially more important, to do it right than to do it fast. So with that, if you guys have anything more to add to that, we're in process. Anything further?
No.
Franklin? All right. Kyle and Ernie, any comments, any insight?
I just have to say again, I'm very proud of what they have done, what they have accomplished over there. My mom was in the nursing home when they closed it down and had to be moved into Cooney and Helena. And that was very upsetting. I mean, it threw her back quite a ways. And they do good care over here. And I think we should be proud of the facility that we have.
And it is a serious economic driver for our community. We would see taxes increase, jobs decrease, property values decrease without some of our biggest employers. And frankly, it is one of the big three, like Ernie said, that would hit the economy of Broadwater County.
Well, if the hospital closes, it's going to affect a lot of things, because you're looking at 70+ employees, you're looking at the pharmacy, you're looking at the real estate people.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be felt by everybody.
Schools,
Schools.
lose the kids, yeah. All right, anything from you, Franklin, to add to that?
No, usually.
Okay, I have minutes from August 27th and September 2.
I'll move to approve this minutes.
Is there a second?
Let me see the second.
They were mailed out to you last week.
Yeah.
All right, it's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes of both August 27 and September 2, 2014. All those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Thank you, Ann. Just a couple of little things that I wanted to add to post-public comment, and that is rumor debunking. Again, we are a community of rumors anymore. The insurance trust. Anytime an employee sues the county, as long as we have followed what is described in our contract with insurance trust, every county in the state is part of an insurance trust. What's required is that we follow HR and personnel law. Second, that we vet everything through a call Mike policy, and that is called legal at MACO to make sure that the next step in whatever the process is being followed, and that we work with our county attorney and other legal authorities on personnel law. We have done that for the various personnel issues we've had. An employee is always welcome to sue. Montana is very, very liberal in employment law. So they can certainly do that. But as long as we follow everything, the insurance trust has a $10,000 deductible for the county. Regardless of what happens, the only obligation of Broadwater County is $10,000, period. A person can get an award for $50,000, it's $10,000 to the county, period. There's a rumor that we have to hold $500,000 from PILT to pay off a lawsuit. Absolutely, 100% not true, period. The second thing is, anytime the county wants or needs more money, we cannot, by law, go to the county citizens and say we're going to take more taxes. And certainly not for salaries or wages. We would never want to do that. We have never done that. We do not have a legal authority to do that. That rumor is also completely false. The citizens have to vote and approve increased mills for anything. And then last of all, PILT. It was stated recently that we're going to lose PILT. This is something that apparently one person in the state knows or thinks they know, and it's also not true. PILT, there are two acts of Congress that make PILT. PILT is payment in lieu of taxes, and it is essentially the federal government's property tax paid on public lands. So about 300 million Americans are paying taxes for the public lands to Broadwater County in our case. There's two acts of Congress that authorize PILT and make it a legal requirement, one from 1908 and the other from the 1960s. In order to overturn PILT, that would take another act of Congress. I think we all know not a lot is getting done in Congress right now. Every single county that has PILT, there's 1,192 counties in the U.S. who collect PILT. Most of those, over 1,000 of those, use PILT to balance their budgets. Broadwater County does not. We use it for capital expenditures. We save it for unexpected expenditures. We do not use it to balance the budget. But we would have over 1,000 counties in the U.S. go bankrupt if they were to lose PILT. PR for our congressional delegates, that would be a PR nightmare. So, PILT in recent years, probably the last 4, has been funded 100%. Previous to that, it was funded anywhere from 40 to 70%. Those are the realities. Congress can allocate to pay PILT at less than 100%, but they cannot legally say we're not ever going to pay PILT again, we're going to get rid of it. That is one that rumor that we are getting rid of PILT, that was stated by one person is absolutely 100% false. And there's a lot of coalitions working on that too. So I won't go into that anymore. Anything to add on rumor debunking today? All right.
I think we need to put it on the agenda, debunking time.
You know, I was thinking of that too, kind of tongue in cheek, but
Yeah.
I'm beginning to think you might be 100% right. This is incredible what's out there and how extremely far from the truth it is. I mean, there's not even a grain of truth
No.
to some of these rumors. So,
And it's hard to keep up with the rumors.
oh my goodness, yeah. And each one is bigger and bigger and bigger than the last.
It's kind of like a fish story. Each one gets bigger.
All right, on to, let's see, we have a public hearing that we're late for. So we are going to,
Montana minutes.
oh, Montana Minute, I'm sorry. Franklin, you got something good to say about our state or our community?
See the changes, seasons coming back.
Elaine.
I do. Our road crew was to a snow rodeo statewide last week, and they brought home trophy number 1 and number 2.
That is incredible.
And so I was anxious to tell Montana minutes.
Excellent. Kudos to our road crew. That's
And there
excellent.
was just 2 of them that could enter because Mark is having trouble with his back or his shoulder or something. So,
Wow.
and you
Wow.
should ask me who was one.
Who was one?
I won't do that. I don't do that.
You guys can guess. We'll
Very
have
proud
to.
of all of them.
Yeah, absolutely. We do certificates, I think we should do some for the
Mhm.
guys. All right. Thank you, Elaine. I went on the Conservation District tour last week, and we went to the Toston Irrigation District, Big Spring, talked about the irrigation and the canals on the southern end of the county, or Toston area, obviously Toston Irrigation District. It was fascinating. Rick Van Dyken, Leonard Lambot, Denise Thompson, Jim Beck, Ron Spoon, Fish, Wildlife and Parks, John Stoner, Troy Helmick, Linda Huth hosted lunch. It was absolutely a tremendous way to spend the day. I got an education that is invaluable. It was excellent. And we went downstairs into the bottom of the Toston Dam and saw the turbines. Turbine, it's huge. Saw the programs, the new loader. It's fascinating what we have in Broadwater County in the way of mechanical assistance for our farmers and ranching community. So I just want to send a huge kudos to our conservation district and the people that Denise brought together as experts to help educate us. We had conservation district representatives from all over the state come to Townsend and share this information. So kudos to Denise.
Did you pick any watercress when you're at Big Spring headwaters?
No, we didn't. No, should have though.
There's a lot of it growing there.
Is it what the,
Watercress.
oh, yeah. Well, I, just one thing to make it clear, the Toston Irrigation District has nothing to do with the Big Springs. That is a separate unit, the Big Spring Company. Toston Irrigation has nothing at all to do with that.
Yes, that's true. It's just that was part of the day. It wasn't just the Toston Irrigation District. It was a fishery we discussed as well. I mean, a lot of things. That was one part of it. So, yeah, Franklin is 100% right on that. But really a fantastic and fascinating education. The afternoon was spent at Deep Creek, going through the landowners and their issues with that mitigation project.
And does it go well?
From what I understand, it did. I did not attend the afternoon just because we've been immersed in it for so long. It's one of those things I know well. So, and had work to do. So anything, anyone else with Montana Minute? Okay, we'll go ahead and get into mail then. I'm sorry, I keep trying to get into mail. We have, being late always sets me off. we have a public hearing on the resolution to adopt fiscal year 15 county budget and mills. So we're going to close this regular business meeting and open a public hearing. What we have is, by statute, we have a requirement to adopt the budget in 2 steps. The first step is to adopt the county mills. The second step is to adopt the individual departmental budgets and special district mills, which includes the school and the city. So today we are just adopting the county mills, and one of the things that we have done as a county that we'll be able to speak about at conference next week is each department that receives mills has a certain number of mills. We do not increase those, we do not decrease those. If the value goes up, that department has a bit more to spend. If the value goes down, they have to tighten their belts. But departments know at the beginning of budget season exactly how much money they'll have because they have the exact same mills they had last year and the year before. It's a way of getting rid of the use it or lose it type of budgeting that frankly is extremely wasteful and all too common in government spending. So, and you have the resolution and the mills. Thank you. Here are the mills. We agreed on these a couple weeks ago.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
the city mills are not on there yet because she has not received them in the school mills as well. But that page can be replaced.
But isn't the school budget in?
This,
How did I?
the school budget is in, yes. And the city is meeting on the 16th. The reason those are not in yet is they're not required until 2 weeks from now. So they didn't get put in yet. Those are considered special districts for the milling portion, county mills. So those will be added, I would imagine, as soon as Doug gets back this week or early next week for us. So thank you, Ann.
No
I did
surprises.
follow up on that this morning. And the county mills are the ones that we approved a couple weeks ago.
Right.
I have a 2-page resolution. Before we take public comment, I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but I'm just gonna read some highlights. A resolution providing for the annual tax levy in mills for fiscal year 2015. Whereas pursuant to section 15-10-305, subsection 1A, MCA requires the Board of County Commissioners of Broadwater County, Montana to fix its tax levy by the later, the second Monday in September or within 30 calendar days after receiving certified taxable values. This is also being done pursuant to MCA 15-10-201, 15-10-203, subsection 2, 15-10-420, 15-10-421B, 2-6-212, and the value of a mill is 390,000. Excuse me. Let's see. So those are the MCAs that we are following on this. Whereas the fiscal year 2015 budget provides for $390,164 for 29.65 mills to be levied for group health insurance premiums for fiscal year 15, including a premium increase of $55,847 as allowed under 2-9-212. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Board of County Commissioners of Broadwater County that the mills set forth at the levy sheet attachment A are approved in order to be levied. Now therefore be it further resolved by the Board of County Commissioners, Broadwater County, that in accordance with 15-421B MCA, the full authorized tax levy has been levied, except for the 7.16 mills for the Three Forks Mosquito District, that is per their request. The Commission will carry forward the authority to levy these mills in future years, again, per their request. Elaine, are you okay with that?
I am.
Okay, thank you. Any public comment? Any public questions? Public comment.
We're just doing what the law tells us we have to do.
Right, yeah. And the law tells us by what date, the wording, it's all just following MCA. Public comment? All right, any comments from the board?
Make a motion to approve.
Well, we can approve the mill and everything, but how can we approve anything on the budget? We still got, we're not through with the budget, so how can we approve it?
No, we just addressed that a few minutes ago. We did this last year too, Franklin. The budget is done in 2 steps, remember?
Well, right, I know
Right,
that.
this is step 1, and it's just the mills.
Set the mill, right.
Right.
Okay, that's what I said. That's, go along with it, but we can't be accepting the budget. All we can
This-
actually do is accept the mills.
Let's see. This, Franklin, is step 1 of the budget. We cannot address the budget till we
until
have the
address
mills.
Right.
And that's in MCA, Montana
Right.
Code Annotated, which is
Yes.
Montana state law. So the other, like we said, and this has been discussed at least 3 or 4 times in our meetings, the next step is the departmental budgets,
Right.
and those will come, the deadline is a month from now. So we'll be working on that this week, but we have to solidify the mills first.
Absolutely.
Okay.
But why are we saying approving the budget? We should just say we're approving the mills as set forth.
No, because the mills are the budget. They're the foundation of the budget. You can't build a house without a foundation. This is the foundation, and from this, we build the departmental budgets. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, I'm okay with that,
Okay.
as long as we're, you know,
We're following the law, if that's what you were gonna say. As long as we're following the law, we are. This is the correct process.
yeah, 'cause we're a long ways off from the budget yet.
No, actually-
Finalizing the budget.
We're not finalizing the entire thing today,
Right.
just the
And I say we're a long
foundation,
ways
so that,
from that.
a month, we have a deadline. Mhm. Are you okay with this?
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and close the public hearing before we take a vote. Last chance for public comment? All right, the public hearing is closed. The 10:30 Dana Rouser Bridge and Road Supervisor Monthly Update was last week, and due to the holiday, that got added accidentally, so that is canceled. COS reviews, we didn't have any come at 10:30. 11 o'clock is the decision and vote on the resolution to adopt fiscal year 15 county budget mills. So I did hear a motion. Can I hear it again now that we're out in public hearing?
You betcha. I make a motion to approve Delaware County, Montana, 2014-15 mill levies.
Need a second?
Yeah, I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded to adopt a resolution providing for the annual tax levy in mills for the fiscal year July 1, 2014 through June 30, 2015, Broadwater County 2014-15 mill levies. All those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Thank you, Ann. All right, now we can get on to those pieces of mail. The password memo that was emailed this week, Elaine, I understand. Thank you, Ann. Thank you. There you go. Okay, so, Michelle heard from you, Elaine, and from me that the memo is good. I did not have a chance this morning due to that conference call to get it printed onto, our letterhead. I will do that this afternoon, as soon as we're done here. Are you okay with it, Franklin? There was no response.
No, or I am okay.
You're okay with it? Okay. Then I will have it here in Debbie's office, or Tammy's office actually, for, if you want your signature stamped, we can do that. And then Franklin, if you'd come in and sign it today, we'll go ahead and mail it, or get it set up tomorrow. Does that work? Okay. All right, we have planning for the future of solid waste facility. This is a conference for solid waste supervisors.
Has Brian seen this?
Yes, he has, but I'm also going to make sure that he gets that copy as well. Just for, just to be on the safe side,
Looks to me like it'd be a very good thing for him to attend.
yes. And frankly, us as his supervisor, it would be good for the commission to attend. That's the same weekend as the Board of Crime Control Crime Prevention Conference, so I will be attending that. So if you guys could, that would be great. We also have from United Way an invitation to free breakfast, and all are invited. This is a kickoff for United Way, so it's an opportunity to further educate us as to what they do, and there's 3 invitations there. September 24 at 7 a.m. We have from the Montana Department of Environmental Quality a intention to issue wastewater discharge permits. This is for Roseburg Forest Products in Missoula. This is not in our county, but if you know somebody there, you might let them know. We have the same request for the city of Billings. From the Montana Department of Transportation, this is regarding the bridge at Three Forks. MDT would like us to get in touch with them. Every year they inspect some of our bridges for structural integrity, and this is for us, but I think we should go ahead and send that to Dana and have him respond to MDT regarding that bridge, since he is the bridge supervisor.
That's the bridge on Jefferson.
It is.
Okay.
Next we have from the Montana Department of Public Service, Montana Public Service Commission. This is a intent, looks like to address Title 69, Chapter 12, and regarding sanitation company and transferees in Plentywood. Again, not Broadwater County, but if you know anyone there, let them know. Next, we have time cards. By law, you must turn in a time card to get your paycheck. This is a requirement by our new budget analyst for the county. Not necessarily a new law, just new best practice.
Final comment on that. I was looking where the final comment is on this meeting. you have one.
They're probably not going to have a public or a final comment until they work with Dana to determine a course of action.
Well, the Allen County would be involved in it too, because it's, but it says here. Repair work. I don't quite understand what all the. This is already done the inspection, there's been talk that they're gonna try to replace that, there's only 8-ton limit, I think, on it or something like that.
Which bridge is it?
They're on the Jefferson. See those, you see those pictures there?
Mm-hmm.
One from
Does the
Old
picture
Town
show?
Lane.
What's
That's what I
it?
thought, it must be Old Town.
Yeah, does it say there, one of the pictures might show what the load limit is, but I'm sure it's only about 8 ton, I think.
Because when it said highway, I was thinking highway.
No, that'd be the interstate there.
It is Old Town.
You bet across there. And there's another one more in our county that just goes over that overflow, that's, well, they're both there, wood decks and, like I said. See, that's the problem they have, is they're worried about, getting fire trucks and anything, you put across it, and then they have to come up the interstate and back down Old Town Road off of 287.
Not the most handy thing.
Right.
Okay, we have claims from fiscal year 14 in the amount of $65,319.89.
I'll make a motion to approve claim in the amount of $65,319.89.
I'll say,
It's been moved and seconded to pay the claims from fiscal year 14 in the amount of $65,319.89. All those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. And we have, I'll let you
Excuse me,
sign
Madam
first.
Chair.
The second. Thank you. We have claims from fiscal year 15 in the amount of $21,493.14.
I'll make a motion to pay those claims. And then the amount you said, I believe you said 21,000.
$493.14.
And is that clarification a second?
Yeah, it is.
All right. It's been moved and seconded to pay the fiscal year 15 claims in the amount of $21,493.14. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. And for those of you who are new, every week we go through a stack of claims that have already been gone through by claims clerk and department heads. We get a third look through. These that are approved appear on this sheet the following week for us to sign and then are paid. So it's about a 2-week process for every bill that comes through the county. Typically the way it works is a department head will have their budget set at the beginning of the year and then they spend it on what they need for their departmental needs. But we just give it a look to make sure that there's nothing frivolous being spent on something that isn't appropriate for county. So that is all the mail. Anything else from you guys? Oh, Tim, excuse me.
Just a quick question for your rumor mill. What is the deadline for fiscal year 14 for invoices to be submitted and or paid?
There is a memo sent out. It was July 25th. A couple of claims have come in late. We have not closed out yet. That is a process that's done by the county treasurer through CSA or Tyler Technologies. So until that's done, Tammy can pick up a couple of stragglers.
Thank you.
Yep. So she has stated she won't do any more. So, and we have supported and sent a memo to the same effect. Fiscal year 14 is done, stragglers.
That was my question, because I remember the memo come up, we
Yep.
gotta put an end to the continual flow of invoices coming up and showing up.
Yep, and this comes from her. This is one of the things where she said, this is okay, I'll do it one last time.
Thank you.
Yep, you betcha. Anything else for the good of the order?
I don't believe so.
Okay. Oh, September 22nd, we will be at conference. It starts Sunday, so we will have no commissioner meeting that day. Is that all right with you guys? All right.
I think we'll all be, 3 be in Kalispell.
Yeah. Okay, so no meeting, September 22nd. And with that, any other public comment? Okay, this meeting's adjourned. Thanks, everyone. It is 11:21.